And that to me is like the huge dehumanizing aspect of it, to say that if you believe your life is meaningful, if you believe your life has purpose, if you believe that your life has worth, it doesn't matter because you're just a human being. And only if God values it does it matter. And to me, that just pisses all over humanity. I mean, I don't even know how a nice way to say it. It is dehumanizing.
But that's the goal of religion, is to tear down the esteem of the believer so as to reconstruct it with religion at the center of it.
Correct.
So, and then once it's kind of got it hooked into you that way, it's really hard to give that up.
Yeah.
It really is hard. So.
But to answer your question, I think the Darwin fish is probably put up in response to creationist, theistic arguments. Yeah. Not necessarily that it is some big blow to theism overall.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have no doctrines, we have no dogmas. There are no catechisms or requirements that we all march in lockstep with the things we believe about the world and us in it. The only thing that I think we really do agree upon pretty reliably is that we don't think that any gods exist. And beyond that, we will argue heatedly amongst ourselves just as much as we will with believers.
Yes, we do.
So.
Well, thanks for clearing all that up. Really
sure. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate your call.
Yeah, definitely.
And it looks like line 2, it looks like we've got Stephen in Dallas. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, this is my girlfriend and I are actually calling because we're huge fans of the show.
Thank you.
What you're doing. And we actually were curious if you've heard of an organization called Concerned Women for America or something like that. Concerned Women for America what?
Yeah, I've heard of them, yes.
Wendy Wright. Yeah, we stumbled across a couple of YouTube videos of Wendy Wright meeting, well, quote-unquote, debating Richard Dawkins. And my girlfriend actually thought that...
You're going in and out really bad on us.
Yeah, you're breaking up just a little bit, Stephen.
Yeah. And, you're on speaker, sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
My girlfriend brought up the point that scientists tend to not put stuff into layman's terms for creationists. And it just didn't seem to not really click with Wendy when he was talking to her.
Well, it could just be that Wendy's dumb, right? I mean, that would not be something I would discount, but...
I've watched his debates with Alistair McGrath, and in my view, just talking theology, I thought the ideas were going straight over McGrath's head. I mean, the things that he was answering were not with Dawkins.
It seems to be like that with all debates that I've watched. Like there's a rabbi that debated Hitchens and several other incidents.
This is why I say that I mean, debates, I think, really are just theater. I don't think that they are particularly useful.
Right.
Theists go into them with sort of a script that they have prepared, and I don't really know that they ultimately sway folks very much.
Although the great debate with Hitchens, they did.
Well, there are good ones.
Yeah.
There was absolutely fantastic one where is the Catholic Church a force for good in the world?
They did an audience poll before the debate. They did an audience poll after the debate, and there was a huge difference in the leanings.
Overwhelmingly no after the debate, right?
Yeah.
So you're right. There can be good ones, but for the most part, I think when you see these debates take place, many times it really does tend to be the people, the theists, the creationists. It's the folks on that side are the ones who really, really pursue the debate format. Because creationism in academia is a non-starter, right? It's a science killer. There's just no room for investigation or inquiry or anything like that. When you just creationism doesn't provide a body. It doesn't provide a testable hypotheses. It's just non-scientific in every possible way, and so since they cannot get their ideas taught as science in classrooms, and since they don't get the respect from academia, they seek these debate forums where they'll get some prominent mouthpiece for the creationist side, and they'll try to get some prominent scientists to debate them, and then they can sort of do their routine that they have perfected in churches.
Essentially, it's a publicity thing.
It's a way of, if you can get more of your folks packed into the debate audience and get them cheering more loudly for you, then you have won. That's another real problem that I have with the debate format. Whoever wins is the person who gives the better performance in it, and it really isn't about getting to facts and truth. It's not really about educating. It's about who can get their message out more clearly, whether it's right or wrong. And so they love the idea of truth being about being essentially a publicity truth being a popularity contest, shall we say?
The whole debate eventually turned into a redefining of the word evidence, and she demanded his evidence, but what she was trying to get him to do is essentially just say, "You have to believe me." And he cited examples from several museums of fossils that she should look at, and DNA patterns and things like that, and just went over her head. And she said, "Well, that's not evidence."
Well, yeah, I mean, when they haven't even been educated in the basics of the science, you can try to hit them with that, and then they'll be like, "Whoa, no, that's just no." Yeah, and you get the argument from
You don't really know what she was looking for. There was no position you could take to change her mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no cure for willful ignorance, I have often found, which can be depressing. So, otherwise, so yeah.
Anyway, we just wanted to say that we like what you're doing, and
thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we've got looks like Jacob on line 3.
He's been holding for a while.
On Minneapolis?
I think so. Jacob, are you on?
Hey.
Hey.
Is this Jacob?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
We are well.
All right. So I'm calling because I have evidence for the Genesis creation account.
Oh, you do?
Not just against evolution, but for the creation account.
Bring it.
All right. Specifically, it's about the flood, because if you look in the fossil record, what you see is at lower strata you will find fossils of weaker animals and other creatures and that kind of thing, and then as you go up and up, you will find more complex things. And so when the flood hit, basically what would have happened is that the creatures that we find at the lower end weren't able to escape the flood as quickly, and you get further to the top, you get things like humans and things that can swim and stuff that can escape the flood more easily. So.
But I thought everything escaped the flood. Didn't Noah take 2 of everything? And 7 of some or something like that? So everything, I mean, all species escaped the flood then, correct? So they should all be alive today, right? Do you understand what I'm asking? There should be no extinct species except for modern extinctions.
So, like, we have dinosaurs and that kind of thing,
which would have gone on the ark according to the Bible, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, then, if you're saying dinosaurs would not have been able to fit on the ark, right?
I've always heard it was baby dinosaurs.
Well, let's go with this one then. Okay, so if dinosaurs were not able to fit in the ark, right? So you're essentially saying that because we find, say, the fossil remains of brontosaurs and tyrannosaurs deeper than we find fossil remains of humans, that means that they were weaker than humans?
Well,
so T-Rexes were weaker than humans because...
I guess my question is, doesn't the creation account says that 2 of every animal went on that ark, and that there were some of which they brought 7 that were sacrificial animals later. So you can't say that dinosaurs didn't go on the ark and then say that you're supporting the creationist account as recounted in the Bible. There would have to be dinosaurs on the ark, or else there would have to be no dinosaurs, ever. That's the only way that argument works. The Bible says he put every animal on that ark.
Well, actually, God told Noah to only put things that breathe through their nostrils on the ark, but...
okay, well, that's still, Wait a
minute. He brought birds. Wait. So you're saying... But a dinosaur does breathe through its nostrils.
Yeah, I mean, that would still leave all the land dinosaurs, right? So we've got some dinosaurs, crowding the ark, and... yeah. But then imagine this then. What about, okay, there are some humans who know how to swim, right? And some who don't. There are some who can't. So wouldn't we see human remains at all different levels of strata with the humans who were non-swimming humans? We'd find their skeletons. We'd find human beings at all different levels.
We would find all animals at one level, leveled out from a worldwide flood. There would be humans and everything else put together on a single layer of strata.
Right. with the non-swimming humans at the
that's
bottom of
not
that
what there
layer,
is.
and the swimmers desperately like, yeah, I mean, yeah, there would be like this. It would be, if you imagine, geological strata would basically be like a big sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Where you'd have all these other rock layers.
There'd be nothing. All the animals
With nothing,
dead in a
and then there'd be
flood
this
layer,
one
and then
layer where it was just
modern
densely packed with rich, creamy nougat filling of like 10 billion fossils, all together in one single layer. And you wouldn't find fossils in any layers either above or below, right? Because if the flood was an event, you would find everything at the same layer.
It seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, right. And
That's what I would predict if I was going to go looking for it.
yeah. Because it's not like the flood is said to have lasted for eons of geological time, right? It was 40
Correct.
days
It was
and 40
40 days
nights,
and 40 nights,
and
right.
So
Well, first of all, even the humans that couldn't swim could still be able to like grab onto things and that kind of thing, and obviously lower organisms wouldn't be able to.
But everything died. I mean, the point of the flood was to kill every human being, right, except for Noah and his immediate family. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So all the humans died according to the biblical account, except for Noah and his immediate family.
So whatever the non-swimming humans would have grabbed onto would have
Right.
been grabbing onto something else.
They'd have been grabbing onto it for 40 days.
Yeah,
I mean,
it would have
they'd have been dead.
Yeah.
And,
so,
and the purpose of the thing was to kill everyone. So, I mean, the God that tried to kill everybody would have killed everybody, I would assume, since he's God. And that Noah and his family would have been the only surviving humans, and everything would have been smashed in that flood layer.
Yeah, everything else died, but they didn't all just like suddenly drop dead all at once. Some of them
In a
died
40-day, it would have been a 40-day event, though. It's
Yeah.
like Martin. I mean, in geological time, that's nothing. That's the same moment.
so you would still see all of these. You would see like fossils of human beings clinging to other human beings, and elephants and gerbils and whatever
and where
else.
did the water go?
Well, it's all.
Where did it go?
It,
But yeah, I mean, I think that's problematic.
yeah.
Well,
so
I mean, enough water came down in 40 days to be able to cover Mount Everest, according to the Bible. So obviously, it would be a pretty powerful flood, and it should be able
Indeed.
to make it seem as though it had taken place over millions of years by any other kind of.
I don't see how a giant flood that lasted for 40 days would come out looking like it lasted millions of years. It should still look like something that lasted 40 days.
Yeah.
And I'm still wondering, if the entire planet was covered in water, where did the water go?
yeah, I mean, it could have gone into the oceans because the whole planet was an ocean. So maybe we have this big watery core at the center of the Earth.
I mean, I'm not trying to be cruel, Jacob, but this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call, but you're going to have to think a little bit more about this.
Mm-hmm.
But I do thank you for the call.
All right.
Have a good Sunday. Okay.
I wish I could say well done, but
well, I
it
mean,
would be a cruel lie.
He called, and I will say it was brave.
Yes, it was.
This
it
is
couldn't-
this
no.
is John from Austin, and he's on line 1. Hi, John.
Hello.
How are you doing?
How are you?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can.
Okay. There's been several comments made. I can't even really remember all of them now, but there were some interesting things said about the first thing to be agreeable. I have a lot of problems with the abuse of children, in particular, in fundamentalist families and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I experienced a little bit of that myself as a child, and so I identify with that, and I think that's true. But we're mainly talking about the hellfire brimstone, firestone, brimstone bullshit and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some generalizations have been made that I would like to address, and I see this happen on this show a lot. I mean, one minute it's like, we understand that all theists, are different, and they have the progressive side and the traditionalist stagnant side and even the regressive side.
And then we just hit them all
the
anyway.
next minute,
Yeah.
It's like you really want to go back and keep the argument in terms of the Scopes monkey trial, and you also you don't just speak from the antiquated religious viewpoint, but also from an antiquated scientific viewpoint. We can stick everything if you can't stick something in a test tube and shake it up and put a number on it, then it doesn't exist. And that's not
that's
really
a
what's
simplification,
going on in science today.
No.
And so
How do you
I
mean?
have a problem with that. I find the entire argument of the existence of God to be mostly semantical, because the word God is so